welcome to the Cognito Pod. Today we're digging into the big announcements from Google I/O and Microsoft Build 2025.
Yeah, quite a lot came out of both events.
Absolutely. We've gone through the keynotes, the blogs, all of it, to pull out what really matters, especially, if you're running a business or involved in tech strategy.
Trying to cut through the hype and see the actual substance.
Exactly. A level-headed look. We'll start with Google I/O, then jump over to the Microsoft Build.
Sounds good. Where do you want to begin with Google?
Okay, so the big picture in I/O.
Yeah.
Obviously, Gemini models everywhere. They talked a lot about how fast they're improving.
Right, and the Gemini app itself. Growing user base, more engagement.
Yeah, and we saw AI overviews expanding in search, plus this new AI mode.
We should definitely unpack AI mode later.
For sure. Also, Project Mariner, agent mode in the Gemini app. Lots of agent-like stuff.
And personal context, pulling your info across Google apps. That's a potentially big one.
Updates to the models themselves, 2.5 Pro, 2.5 Flash, Gemini Fusion.
And a ton of research projects they highlighted. AlphaProof, Co-Scientist, AME, AlphaFold 3.
Genie 2, VO for video, Gemini Robotics. They're definitely showing off the R&D muscle.
And positioning the Gemini app as this, universal AI assistant.
Yeah, that vision came through strongly. Then there was Gemini Live, new search stuff, those Android XR glasses.
The glasses prototype looked interesting. Very future-forward.
Also, Firesat for wildfires, Lyria 2 for music, Synth ID for watermarking.
Right, keeping track of generated media. That's becoming important.
And Flow AI for filmmaking. Plus, new AI subscription plans, Gemini and Chrome.
And Imagen 4 for images, and VO3, which now does native audio.
Okay, wow, that's a lot. So the main theme seems to be Gemini getting smarter and getting plugged into everything, right? And becoming more active, more agentic.
Absolutely. It's less about just answering questions and more about doing things and being deeply integrated.
Let's zoom in on some features then. Gemini 2.5 Pro and Flash. They made a big deal about benchmarks.
Yeah, 2.5 Pro apparently topping the El Marino leaderboards, which is, a pretty respected benchmark. And #1 on Web Dev Arena for coding specifically.
So tangible improvements, and Flash is the faster, more efficient one.
Exactly. And they introduced thinking budgets for both, which sounds like a practical way for developers to control costs and latency.
Makes sense. If these models get really powerful, you need ways to manage how you use them.
Right. It's about making them deployable in the real world.
Okay, search. AI overviews hitting 1.5 billion users. That's massive.
It really is. Shows how quickly these AI summaries are being adopted.
And AI mode. You said we should unpack that. It's for more complex queries.
Yeah, they're pitching it as a reimagined search. Uses something called query fan-out for better reasoning on complicated questions, stuff that takes multiple steps to figure out.
And it uses personal context, like my past searches or emails.
Potentially, yeah. To give you more personalized suggestions, maybe plan things based on your info in Gmail or Drive. Securely, they emphasize.
Interesting. They also mentioned deep search for really thorough reports.
Right, more detailed cited answers. And doing complex data analysis, like for sports stats or finance info, right within search.
And agents in search, using Project Mariner to book tickets.
That's the idea. Moving search towards taking action for you. They also showed Search Live for video help and better shopping features.
Like virtual try-on for clothes and agentic checkout.
Yeah, getting visual inspiration, recommendations based on who you're shopping for, and then potentially having the AI handle parts of the checkout, maybe track prices. It's all moving toward a more assisted experience.
Okay. And the Gemini app gets its own agent mode.
Right. Similar idea, but within the app itself.
Yeah.
Handling multi-step tasks, like the example they gave of finding an apartment on Zillow, then scheduling tours using other tools.
So coordinating across different services.
Exactly. And along those lines, personalized Smart Reply in Gmail. It learns your style from your other emails and docs to draft replies that sound more like you.
That could be genuinely useful. Or slightly creepy, depending on how well it works.
Yeah. The uncanny valley of email replies.
Okay, creative tools. Imagen 4, richer images. VO3, better video, and native audio.
Yeah, that's the big update for VO3. Not just video, but generating synchronized sound effects, background sounds, even dialogue. They had that demo with the owl and the badger.
Right, I remember that. The owl sounded quite wise.
It did. And Flow AI, this new filmmaking tool, it combines VO, Imagen, and Gemini.
So you can mix your own footage with AI-generated stuff.
Yeah.
And control the camera characters.
Pretty much. It looks like a powerful tool for creatives, potentially lowering the barrier to entry for sophisticated video production.
Makes sense. And Gemini is coming to Chrome, too, for summarizing web pages.
Yeah, like summarizing reviews on a really long product page, that kind of thing, making web browsing a bit smarter.
And the Android XR glasses, what did they actually show?
It was a research prototype, so, not a product yet. But they showed it identifying a band, playing, pulling up info, playing their music.
All hands-free, just looking.
Yeah. And recognizing objects, giving directions, doing live translation. They showed it backstage in a coffee shop scenario. Contextual info, right in your field of view.
Okay. Now, stepping back, obviously Google isn't alone here. They're competitors, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
When you talk about large language models, ChatGPT is the obvious comparison. Other search engines, Bing, for example, are integrating AI heavily.
And for creative stuff, image and video generation, there are tons of tools out there.
Definitely. Google's pushing its ecosystem, but the underlying trends, AI assistance, generative AI, are industry-wide.
So what do you think qualifies as potentially game-changing from Google's announcements? What really stood out?
Well, I think the whole vision for the Gemini app as a universal AI assistant is pretty ambitious. This idea of a single, proactive AI that knows you, integrates across your devices, and helps with everyday tasks, like that bike repair example they use.
Where it uses video input to guide you through the repair.
Yeah, using multiple modalities, understanding context, anticipating needs. If they can pull that off, that's a big shift in human-computer interaction.
Okay.
What else? Agent Mode and Project Mariner. The move towards AI agents that do things for you, not just find information.
Like the apartment search or booking tickets, it's more proactive AI.
Exactly. It changes the dynamic from you asking, AI answering, to you delegating, AI executing. That feels significant, especially in areas like search and task management.
And the personal context integration.
That's potentially huge too. Giving Gemini secure access across your Google data, search history, Gmail, Docs, calendar could make the assistants vastly more relevant and personalized.
Like the personalized smart replies or the tailored suggestions in AI mode.
Right. The key, of course, is doing it securely and giving users control. But the potential for truly personalized AI is there.
Makes sense. Anything else game-changing?
I'd point to VO3 with native audio. Realistic, synchronized audio and video generation opens up massive possibilities for content creation, storytelling, simulation.
Yeah, making generated video feel much more real.
And maybe Flow AI if it truly democratizes high-end filmmaking like they suggest, making those tools accessible.
Okay. And the XR glasses. Even as a prototype.
I think the potential is game-changing. Hands-free, context-aware AR assistants powered by Gemini, that could fundamentally change how we interact with information and the physical world. It's still early days, but the direction is clear.
And underlying all this, the hardware like the new TPUs. Ironwood.
Yeah, you can't forget the infrastructure. Better, faster, more efficient chips are what make these increasingly powerful models possible. It's like needing a faster engine to run more demanding software. Essential, even if it's behind the scenes for most users.
Okay, that's a good overview of Google I/O. Let's switch gears now to Microsoft Build 2025. What were the headlines there?
Microsoft's focus was heavily on developers and enterprise, especially around Copilot and their Azure AI platform, which they're now branding heavily around Foundry.
So more Copilot capabilities.
Definitely. Copilot for helping modernize apps, an autonomous SRE agent that's site reliability engineering, and a big one, a full coding agent in GitHub Copilot.
A full coding agent, not just suggestions.
Right. Moving towards autonomous task completion, GitHub Copilot as more of a pure programmer.
Wow, okay. What about Microsoft 365 Copilot?
Updates there too. Chat that understands both web and your work data, universal search across everything, including external tools, things like Confluence or Jira.
Exactly. Also, notebooks for complex tasks, new Create features, specialized agents for research and analysis, and deeper Teams integration.
And for businesses wanting to build their own AI.
That's where Copilot Studio and Copilot Tuning come in. Tools to create custom enterprise agents based on your own data.
And Foundry, you mentioned that's a big branding push.
Yeah, Foundry is positioned as their overarching AI app platform. It bundles everything. Model choice, including integrating Grok, Mistral, Llama.
Grok is interesting coming from XAI.
Yeah. Plus a model router to pick the best model for a job, partnership with Hugging Face, knowledge retrieval. The agent service is now generally available, scalable compute. The whole shebang for building AI apps.
A platform play.
Totally. They showed a healthcare agent orchestrator built on Foundry's Stanford, also observability tools for AI using Entra ID for agent identities, Purview for data governance, Defender for security.
So integrating AI deeply into their existing enterprise security and governance stack.
Precisely. And Foundry Local for running stuff on the edge or client devices, which ties into Windows AI Foundry.
Ah, bringing AI onto Windows itself.
Yep, Windows AI Foundry and a new small language model called 5-Silica SLM for on-device AI, plus semantic APIs for Windows apps to use these capabilities.
On-device AI is definitely a growing trend.
For sure. They also introduced something called NLWeb, Networked Language Web, for making websites and APIs talk agent language, basically.
Turning the existing web into something agents can easily use.
That's the idea. Oh, and they open sourced WSL, the Windows subsystem, for Linux.
Okay, so lots of developer and enterprise focus. Let's translate some of this. GitHub Copilot as a peer programmer. What's the analogy for a business?
Sounds like hiring a really, really good junior developer who works 24/7, never gets tired, and can actually take a whole feature request or bug report and just code it.
Okay, so it frees up your senior engineers for the really hard architectural stuff.
Exactly. Potentially a massive productivity boost for software teams.
And Copilot for app modernization, moving old apps to the cloud.
Think of it like having a specialist renovation crew that can automatically upgrade an old building your legacy software, bring it up to modern code, add new features, and then physically move it to a better, more efficient location, which is the cloud, all with less manual effort.
Saves a ton of time and headache on those big migration projects.
Definitely. The autonomous SRE agent.
That one's like having an incredibly vigilant, always-on IT support system for your website or online service. It doesn't just wait for things to break. It constantly monitors, detects problems before they cause an outage, and automatically fixes them.
It's like a self-healing system. Keeps the lights on, prevents costly downtime.
Exactly. Crucial for any business relying on online services.
Okay, Microsoft 365 Copilot's universal search.
That's like finally having one search bar that actually searches everything related to your work. Not just your emails or your OneDrive, but your Teams chats, SharePoint sites, and even connected things like Salesforce or, as you mentioned, Jira. No more hunting around in 10 different places.
Just one place to find that document or that conversation. Huge time saver.
Potentially, yeah. Improving knowledge access across the company.
Copilot Studio and tuning, building custom agents.
Imagine you're training a new employee. You have to teach them your company's specific jargon, your internal processes, the key customers or cases. Copilot Studio is like a platform to train an AI agent on all that specific internal knowledge.
So a law firm could train an AI on its case history and legal precedents. A consulting firm on its industry frameworks.
Precisely. You're building specialized AI assistants that understand your business deeply, making them much more useful than a generic AI for specific tasks.
Got it. And Foundry, the big platform.
Think of Foundry as the entire factory and toolkit needed to build serious industrial-strength AI applications. It's got the assembly lines, the raw materials, the AI models, the quality control, security systems, the logistics, everything you need in one place.
And the model router inside Foundry.
That's like the factory's logistics manager or a smart traffic controller. You give it a job, and it automatically figures out the best machine, the best AI model to handle that specific task efficiently, whether it needs speed or deep reasoning or creativity. You don't have to be an expert on every single AI model yourself.
It handles the complexity of choosing the right tool.
Right. Simplifies things for developers.
Integrating Grok. That's just adding another powerful tool to the toolbox.
Essentially, yeah. Grok is known for its reasoning capabilities, so adding it to Azure via Foundry gives developers another option, particularly for tasks requiring complex logic or understanding.
Okay. And LWeb, making websites talk to agents.
Analogy time. It's like giving every existing website or online service a universal translator and a smart conversational front desk. Suddenly, AI agents can easily understand what the website offers and interact with it smoothly, asking questions or getting things done without needing a human to navigate the site.
So you could tell an agent, find the cheapest flight on Kayak, and NLWeb helps the agent interact with Kayak's actual systems.
That's the vision, yeah. Making the web agent ready.
And Windows AI Foundry 5 Silica, the on-device stuff.
That's like putting a powerful, dedicated AI chip or engine right inside your computer or phone. It means AI tasks like summarizing a document instantly or offering real-time suggestions in an app can happen right there on your device super fast without always needing to send data to the cloud and back.
So quicker, more responsive AI features and apps, potentially better privacy too.
That's the goal. More powerful edge computing for AI.
Right. And again, Microsoft isn't alone here either. Other cloud providers, AWS, Google Cloud, have their own comprehensive AI platforms, model marketplaces, tools for building agents.
Absolutely. Everyone's building out their AI stack for developers and enterprises. Customizing models with proprietary data is also a common theme across the board.
So Microsoft's announcements fit into that broader competitive landscape.
Definitely. They're showcasing their specific integrations, their platform strategy with Foundry, and their strengths in enterprise software and the Windows ecosystem.
So pulling out the potential game changers from build,
Yeah.
what really stands out for you?
The full coding agent in GitHub Copilot feels like a major one. If it truly delivers on letting AI autonomously handle significant coding tasks, not just suggesting lines, but implementing features, fixing bugs based on an issue report, that could fundamentally alter software development speed and workflows.
A potential step change in developer productivity.
Could be. Then Copilot Studio and Copilot Tuning, empowering businesses to create truly bespoke AI agents grounded in their own unique data and expertise.
Moving beyond generic AI to highly specialized, company-specific AI.
Right. That unlocks a different level of value, tailored to specific industry needs and business processes. That feels game-changing for enterprise AI adoption.
Foundry is that comprehensive platform.
I think so, yes. By packaging everything together, model choice, routing, agents, data integration, security, governance Founder aims to solve many of the practical challenges businesses face when trying to build and deploy AI at scale. A holistic platform could significantly accelerate enterprise AI deployment.
Reducing the friction for businesses to actually use AI seriously.
Exactly. Also, the strategic move to integrate diverse cutting-edge models like Grok alongside Mistral, Llama, and OpenAI's models within that single Foundry platform.
Giving developers broad choice.
Yeah, offering flexibility and letting them pick the absolute best tool for the job from a wide menu, all managed through one consistent environment. That's powerful.
What about the on-device AI, Windows AI Foundry?
That has huge potential too. Making powerful AI run efficiently on the device could unlock entirely new kinds of applications and user experiences that rely on low latency, high responsiveness, and maybe enhanced privacy. It could reshape how we interact with our PCs and apps.
Bring the AI closer to the user.
Right. And lastly, NLWeb. It might sound a bit technical, but this idea of creating a foundational layer to make the existing web easily consumable by AI agents
Could unlock a massive amount of capability for agents.
Potentially, yes.
Wow.
If agents can seamlessly tap into the vast resources and functionalities already on the web via APIs and websites, it could create a truly interconnected web of intelligent services. That's a pretty big vision.
Okay, so wrapping this up, looking at both Google I/O and Microsoft Build, the big themes seem clear. AI is advancing incredibly fast.
And the focus is shifting strongly towards practical applications, getting AI embedded into products we already use, and building these more capable action-taking agents.
Yeah, less theoretical, more how do we actually use this stuff? Both companies are really pushing the integration and the tooling.
Definitely. Providing the platforms and tools for developers and businesses to build on top of these powerful models seems key for both.
And for you, the listener, The potential impact is pretty significant, wouldn't you say? Productivity boosts, new ways to innovate.
Oh, absolutely. Whether it's automating tedious tasks, getting smarter assistants, accessing information more easily, or creating entirely new products and services, these advancements open up a lot of possibilities.
For sure. It leads to a final thought, really. As these AI models get smarter, as these agent platforms become more capable of acting in the world, and as AI gets more personalized.
Understanding your context.
Right. How is this convergence going to reshape things? Not just technology, but how we work, how we learn, how we interact day to day.
It's a profound question. The potential for transformation is immense.
So maybe think about which of these trends, the smarter models, the agentic actions, the personalization, the on-device power, feels like it could have the biggest impact on what you do in your field or your interests. Something to chew on.
Definitely food for thought.
That's the deep dive for today. Thanks for joining us.